Welcome to the introduction episode of First Friday Showcase, where we will monthly speak about upcoming events, resources, and news, along with featuring a fellow KUSBDC consultant and congratulating the PASBDC's Consulting Corner of the Month. During each episode, we will cover events, resources, and do our feature selected KUSBDC consultant or fellow staff member. With today being an introductory episode, our director, John Stetler, will be sharing a few words regarding this new series and what we want listeners to get out of this. So to start off with some COVID-19 events that are coming up, there is the Small Business Relief, the American Rescue Plan update, which will be held on Tuesday, May 11th, along with every Tuesday after that on the 18th, 25th, from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And that will be hosted by the PASBDC and presented by Gabriella Smith, a tax consultant from the PASBDC. This webinar covers the update to the American Rescue Plan and the new tax relief focusing on small businesses. Join us to gain insight into the forgiveness program and the available grants funded through the SBA. The next COVID-19 event going on this month is onboarding strategies for small business owners during COVID-19, which will be on Wednesday, May 19th from 11 a.m. till noon, which that will also be hosted by the PASBDC and presented by Lewis Bradley, a small business expert and coach. Just some background information about this event is an effective virtual new hire onboarding not only includes the new hire paperwork, but ensuring introductions with your team. This webinar can help you up the best remote onboarding program for your company. Now, here are some other news and events going on throughout the month, which is the first step starting a small business webinar, which will be held on Wednesday, May 12th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that will be hosted by the Kutztown SBDC. Join us for an interactive webinar designed for people who are thinking about starting a business or who are in the early stages of starting. Topics typically covered LLCs versus corporations or independent contractor versus employee, business planning, as well as SBA financing. Another non-COVID-19 event going on this month is Search Engine Optimization 101, which other people know it as SEO, which will be held on Tuesday, June 1st from 1 to 2 p.m. And that will be hosted and presented by the KUSBDC as well. And some background information on this event is SEO 101 will introduce attendees to the concept of SEO starting from ground level and building up. Attendees will be introduced to the different types of SEO, their applications, and how to effect each one using tools and services. I will now pass it on to Zach, who will introduce our KUSBDC feature for this episode.
Thank you, Matt. So this section is going to be used mainly to feature consultants of the KUSBDC. However, this episode, being the introductory episode, we are featuring John Stetler, the director of the KUSBDC. So welcome, John. We're just going to ask a few questions here, starting with the main goals of the First Friday Showcase at the KUSBDC.
Thanks for having me, Zach. One of the goals is to promote our programs, services, outreach to our community in a fun, different way, to let our community know of upcoming events at the KUSBDC, how they can participate, and just overall get to know our consultants, our colleagues, our community partners in a different way by highlighting some of the wonderful things they're doing and getting to know everyone on a different level.
Great. So Matt mentioned some of the events and webinars going on through the KUSBDC. Could you maybe mention some other topics that we are trying to educate the listeners on through this series?
Sure. Mainly all of our services and programs that we have to offer at KUSBDC, from business and strategic planning, marketing, capital acquisition, financial management, budgeting and systems to operations, assistance with COVID and related programs dealing with COVID and the after effects of COVID, technology, social media programs and plans, marketing research, our search engine optimization reports that we actually have a class on that Matt mentioned. And last but certainly not least, our manufacturing and retail, and how to take advantage of our Canner Retail IQ research and our WebNet programming.
Awesome. And if the listener happens to be a potential client or even a current client, what would you recommend them to do after this episode to stay in touch with the First Friday Showcase and the KUSBDC as a whole?
Sure. If they are not an existing client, I recommend that they go to our webpage, kutztown.edu, Small Business Development Center. They can email us at sbdc@kutztown.edu. Give us a call, 484-646-5937, or directly sign up via the website, kasbdc.ecenterdirect.com and /sign up. You can easily sign up with our center and we'll assign you a consultant based upon your needs. They'll contact and reach out to you, set up an initial meeting. If it's an existing client, I'd recommend that they reach out to their assigned consultant that they're already working with, go over areas they want to learn and focus on or expand upon or get explanations on for further assistance in programming and what they want to do with their business or startup. All the trainings that we offer or webinars and programs are here to help.
I also think it's worth mentioning to check out our social media pages. We're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, soon to be Instagram. That's where you can kind of see all the updates about what the KU and PA SBDC is up to. So if you're not following, go check it out. And in this next section, we're going to be using to highlight different consultants and let you know the past consultants that we featured, future consultants that we're planning on featuring. So last month we had Ian Proud, who is a Bucknell SBDC consultant. He specializes in engineering innovation and market research, and he's been with the Bucknell SBDC for 4 months, and that was in the previous consultant corner. And the consultant corner, if you're subscribed to our newsletter, you will be able to see these kind of consultant corner Word documents. And the idea is to bring that to life and put a face to the name and kind of interview the consultants that we feature in that here. So this month, the consultant that would be on this episode, if it wasn't John being featured, it would be Mikel DeVecchio. And he is a hospitality specialist with the Clarion SBDC. And he kind of works with restaurants and other hospitality businesses, giving them consultant services and similar things to that. So now that's gonna wrap up the main portion of this First Friday Showcase, and I'll pass it back over to Matt, who's gonna kind of recap the episode and give some closing statements.
Thank you, Zach. I want to thank all of our listeners and viewers for tuning in into our first episode of First Friday Showcase by the KUSBDC. Our next episode will be released on the first Friday of June, which is June 4th, and it will include new resources, news, and events that are going on throughout that month, along with the next featured SBDC consultant. And to view all of our training events, please visit sbdc.ecenterdirect.com. Again, that is pasbdc.ecenterdirect.com. I wish all of you a great rest of your day. Thank you for your time tuning in, and have a good one.